We are live. So I'm going to go ahead and test now. Just check on, let me see, I'll check on Instagram. All right. Now we're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, X. So it's my browser that had a problem. My browser had a problem. If you're watching this, I was able to successfully get back on the live stream. I did not expect this to take longer than this, but here we are. Here we are. So I did not want to do this live stream. I did not feel like doing this live stream. And right now I want to add Instagram just as the way it was supposed to be. And title, do you want to do this? Audience is public. Next. Stream key. Instagram key and save. Okay, buddy. Come on. There it is. All right, we are live on all the platforms now. And what is this point required for that? I don't need no points. Kenneth. Hey, Kenneth, welcome to the stream. This is on TikTok. I'm currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and all these platforms. I think I've said that like 12 times. I did not want to do this live stream. I did not want to do this live stream. I didn't feel like doing it. It's not as if I have some exceptional news to share or something extraordinary that somebody needs to listen to, but I really wanted to come up here to talk about consistency. Consistency. We have heard people talk about it in different ways at different times about different things. And I just wanted to share my own real-time experience with trying to be consistent when you don't feel like it. Right now, I don't feel like doing this stream. A couple of moments ago, I was thinking about this. I was like, well, I can not show up. Nobody would notice. Nobody would care. And there's a lot of truth in that because people are busy. It's like on TikTok right now, people are joining and going with their day, doing their thing. Like, this is life. It's real life. People, if you cannot keep somebody's attention on the internet for longer than, I don't know, is it 3 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever long it is, people walk away. It's the accepted norm that you have to be in a manner exceptional in order to maintain someone's attention on the internet. And so if I didn't do this live stream, if I didn't show up here, Stella says we would notice. If I didn't do this live stream, Stella would notice. I promise Stella, maybe my wife would notice, but that's it. Like the rest of the world will carry on. I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't mean this in a way that is like, I don't think that I'm providing value, right? Fulbert, you know, let me just carry on my thing and I'll come to the comments. I'm not getting too excited. But what I'm trying to say here is that you might think that the thing that you want to do is not that big of a deal. And you might be correct, right? You might be correct that people will not really pay attention to you not showing up. But like the comments are coming in right now. Even my thought that nobody would notice was not true. And the title of this stream on YouTube and Facebook is I did not want to do this live stream, so I came here to talk to you about consistency. It's because consistency matters the most, especially when you don't want to do the thing. Consistency matters the most, especially when you don't want to do the thing, because it's in those moments that you don't feel like it, that you transcend who you were and you become the person that you're supposed to be. It's in those moments when you don't feel like it, you don't feel like waking up, you don't feel like practicing, you don't feel like reading, you don't feel like studying. It's especially in those moments when you don't feel like it that you're able to transcend even faster to who you want to become. When it's easy, you don't notice it. When it's something you enjoy, you don't notice it. But the path to mastery of any kind, and I don't mean just mastery in your career, in your degree, in mastery. For example, in order to become a friend, you have to be willing to be awkward. There is a period at the beginning of that friendship where you don't know what this person likes, you don't know what they find funny, you don't know what they think is interesting. You just don't know, right? It's awkward. And it's because in those early stages, you're able to try, you're able to show up. That's how you get to become friends with this person. That's how an awkward conversation becomes 10 years, 20 years of a relationship, of a friendship. And it starts with those small steps, with doing the things that you don't want to do, especially when you don't want to do them. And that's really what this live stream is about. I did not want to do this. I really did not feel like it. I did not feel like coming here and trying to find something to talk about. I didn't know what I'll talk about. I wanted to just chill. I mean, Labor Day was yesterday. Today was a very heavy day at work. Lots of tickets, lots of things to work on. I have my own personal projects I want to do. I have a laundry list of good reasons why I shouldn't do this. But this has happened to me way too many times. It's happened to me way too many times where I make a promise, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to show up, I'm going to create content consistently, and then I find a good reason to not show up. And today I decided that no, this has to end. This has to stop at some point. I need to be able to show up whether I feel like it or not. Even though the person who takes the most credit in this conversation is my wife, because she was like, yeah, you have a stream today at 5 o'clock, right? I was like, man, she remembered. I wish she had forgotten so that I will also just forget. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I did not want to do it. I wish she would not remember, but she did. She did. And so that's another part of the puzzle, right? When you have people who can remind you of the things that you said you're going to do, you are more likely to do them. So studies show that people who share their goals are more likely to accomplish them. Other studies show that people who share their goals are more likely to not accomplish them. Either way, you're right. If you're the kind of person who needs to keep things to themselves to do them, go ahead and do that. But if you know that sharing your goal with somebody might make them remind you of the goal that you set, then go ahead and share it. I don't think there's one size fits all that works in terms of building consistency. It's about finding the things that work for you. In my case, having someone else, being accountable to someone else helps me. Not because they'll come and tell me to do the thing, is that I don't want to fail this person. It's like an internal thing. I don't want to fail them. I don't want to fail this person who knows that I said I was going to do this. And I usually say, every person I've promised something to, I always remember. Like, they don't need to remind me. But having somebody else out there who knows, who tells you, come, guy, you say you're going to do this thing. What happened to it? Like, man, I wish I had forgotten, but they haven't. So it's important at the beginning of your journey, whatever you're doing, to focus on being more consistent than try to be high intensity. When you're working out, focus on showing up more than trying to carry the heaviest weight in the gym. When you're reading, because people usually ask me questions about books and reading and things like that. When you're trying to read more books, focus on 5 minutes a day, 1 page a day, rather than trying to finish 10 books in a week. Intensity is not the way. Consistency is the way, especially when you're starting. And most people are starting. And it doesn't matter what it is that you're starting. A job, a new workout regimen, a way of thinking, a relationship, a way of appreciating yourself, prayer life. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. We are all starting something. And so when you're starting, make sure to focus on being more consistent. In my case, last week, the goal was to go live every day for the week. So I went live on, was it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? I think Friday I didn't go live. I don't remember why, but I had a good reason to not go live. And so the thing I was saying all last week was, oh, this is going to be a test for this week, and then we'll see how that goes. In this case, now it's, all right, I want to be consistent. I may not be able to afford to show up live every day, but what can I actually do? What can I do? What's a small step that I can do? And so I looked at my calendar, tried to find time that would work. And it was like, you know what, Tuesdays and Fridays, I could actually go live regularly, consistently. And so I added that to my calendar. We were planning for the month because this is a new month, right? September. This is the third. Start of the quarter of the year. It's a great month ahead, great couple of months ahead. And so after making that plan, the goal was, well, we have made the plan. Now we have to stick to it. And so the plan was made. I put it on my calendar. It's right there. And right now I have to do it. So I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I have things that I want to do. I have Bible study I need to prepare for. I have work. I'm sure you have a list of things. And that's a wonderful thing about when you want to do something right. All the other things that you're supposed to be doing at that time will show up. You know, it's funny how when you're focused on one task, that's when you remember that, oh, you've not folded the laundry. You had to call this person. There's this project that you started, not finished. You need to give a call back. You have to, all these things, all these tasks that were not there before suddenly appear. That for me is a sign that you should be focusing on the thing that you're supposed to do right now. So the next time that you feel like not doing something that you know you should be doing, start by breaking it down to the smallest step possible. In my case, it was scheduling this live stream. And what you don't know, if you're watching this on Facebook and YouTube or recording, is I scheduled it for 5:10. I think it was 5 o'clock, 5:10. Then when I launched it, it stopped working. It didn't work. So I had to try, do a test. It didn't work either. So then I went to, I switched my browser. So right now I'm using Microsoft Edge. And I finished my short talk and then come to the comments. Comments are killing me still. You're killing me in these comments. So, and I had to switch. I like Google Chrome. Works for me. I enjoy all the things, but I switched to Edge. I found a way around it. I could have had a very good reason to not do the stream. Oh, StreamYard stopped working. But no, I had to find a way around it. Right? So find a way around your excuses. Do the thing, especially when you don't feel like doing it. Break it down into small steps that you can do. Find either an accountability partner or focus on what you can actually do by yourself. But for the love of all things that are good and for the gift that God has put in your heart, don't give in to the excuses. Don't give in to the good reasons why you should not do the thing. Don't give in, because time will creep on you. Time will creep on you. I turn 35 next year. I still remember when I started my final degree program when I was 22. This is what, over 10 years ago. It feels like it was last week. And so sometimes when I think of time, I'm like, man, that was like 10 years ago. What have I done so far in 10 years? Like, this is not any kind of pressure on me. It's just, what have I done? What have I set my mind to do and actually accomplished? Like, not some external goal. Like, what did I decide to do that I did? And when I look at the list, my own personal list of things that I wanted to do, I'm like, man, there's still a lot that I haven't done that I really want to do that I've not done. And so when I now look forward, if I keep doing things the way that I'm doing them right now, do I stand a chance to accomplish this list of things that I want to do for myself? And the answer is no. I'm like, something needs to change. And I think one of those things for me personally is consistency. It's not intensity. It's not doing more. It's not biting a lot more. It's just showing up regularly, steadily, without fail. That's it. That's really it. That's one of the big rocks I think that everybody can benefit from, whether it's in your relationships, showing up, picking up the phone, calling people regularly, whether it's in your job, showing up, picking up the slack, doing your tasks, finishing in time, just, growing in your learning, whether it's a school, showing up, doing your assignments, like whatever it is. If you just show up, if you just make it a point to show up consistently, steadily, in 10 years, you would have accomplished a lot more than trying to be intense for 1 week and then take off the next 3 weeks of the year. Now, I'm going to add this and end this conversation, which is that there is a time for intensity. I'm not saying that intensity is bad. I'm not saying that you should not be intense. There is a time when you have to bend down and do a lot of work for a short period of time, like short bursts of a lot of work. Now, those bursts happen when you've built the muscle to handle it, right? It's like if you're a runner, you don't just get up and you run, I don't know, 10 miles. You have to pick up the pace slowly. And then there will come a time when you can run 10 miles and you will not die. There will come a time when you can work all night and you will not faint the next day. I mean, I'm sure parents, if any parent is watching this, you know very well that a child coming into your life can change your schedule, can change the way you wake up and sleep. Like, I'm not a parent. I want to imagine that what you thought you couldn't do before, you are now able to do a lot more or less. So there is a time for intensity. When you're starting, however, when you're building that muscle, focus on being consistent, not being intense. That's the message. That's the message for today. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading the comments now. Please, if you're watching on TikTok and I haven't been able to respond, I'm seeing any questions here. No questions yet. So please feel free to leave a comment, share a contribution. I'll be more than happy to read that on here. And so, yeah, let me go and start the stream. The comments. Stella was talking about noticing that I didn't show up if I did not. Fulbert Hawk, my guy. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. How far, bro? We will care. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you. That's a goal. This month, September, I want to show up on these platforms. Hi, Gnome. Welcome. I want to show up twice a week. That's it. Twice a week live stream on this platform. It doesn't matter what's going on. If it's an hour, like literally twice a week, 5 p.m. Or even if it's not 5 p.m., just twice a week. If I have to show up for 5 minutes and disappear, I'll do that. But I want to show up at least twice a week this month. Larry says, you're right. Right? I am right. Let me see here. Oh yeah, Stella, I see you corrected the typo in your message. Say, "Who to your wife? She's definitely helped you transcend." Yes, that is. I see, man. I love being married. I think one day I'll talk about this whole marriage thing, but I don't know, man. I think then again, it depends on who you're married, right? You're married to, but I'm really having a time of my life being married, and I believe that my wife will probably say the same thing. So, but she's not here to defend herself or add to it. So, let's just say that I got a great deal, and I'm very, very pleased. Yeah. Truly, consistency beats frequency and intensity. Yes, this is it. If you could compress this whole live stream and this conversation in one thing, it will be that consistency beats frequency and intensity. Thank you, Larry. Stella says, find what works for you. If it's accountability, great. If it's self-motivation, awesome as well. Totally agree. I noticed that depending on what I'm working on, depending on the kind of project that I'm working on, there are times when I just want to be by myself. I don't need anybody to tell me anything. I don't need anybody to give me recommendations. I don't want anybody give me instructions. I don't want. So, yeah. Hey, Sandy. It's been ages. I cannot. Okay. I need to open the profile to look at the page, but I see you have a Cameroon flag. So I have a feeling that we know each other. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Self-motivation, accountability. I mean, Stella, what you're saying really boils down to knowing oneself, right? I think last stream, I talked a little bit about this whole self-knowledge thing. Spending time with yourself, praying, meditating, asking God to give you guidance on who you are, who He made you to be. Like, God knows you more than anybody, more than your parents, more than your friends, more than your pastor, more than anyone. So when you have that relationship with God, you are able to find out who you are, who He made you to be, and what He has called you to be. And you start seeing some threads. I can only speak for myself. I love stories. I'll probably talk. In fact, I might talk into my sleep when I sleep and die one day in the future. Bottom line is, God has made you fully for a purpose. And when you know that purpose, you are more likely to find the ways that work for you. There are times when I need somebody to encourage me. There are times when I need to be by myself, focus on the project. Classic example is when I write for anything, I need to sit down uninterrupted for like an hour so I can just sit there with my thoughts. I have a hard time writing when there are people around me. It doesn't matter who it is, including my wife. I just have a very hard time doing that. But then what happens now is when I finish writing, I want to have the feedback. And so I'll be like, hey, I need you to tell me what you think about this, and so I can then use that feedback to improve it. So, like what you're saying is like accountability is great, self motivation is great. When you know what works for you, you are more likely to succeed in general. So self knowledge is really cool. You just blow up my excuses. Right, right. Excuses or reasons, you find yours, right? I mean, you're preaching to the choir. A lot of what I'm saying, and this is, I think this is the most important thing that I'll say this evening. A lot of what I'm saying, these are things that I wish someone would tell me when I'm going through the motion of thinking, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I do this one instead? I can give great excuses for why I shouldn't pursue a goal, why I shouldn't start my class, why I shouldn't XYZ. Excuses abound endlessly. But it's important to realize that the flesh needs to be crucified, or you will not do anything in this life. So, yeah, we're going to kill all those excuses. Oh, yes, I'll start focusing on the things I don't feel like doing, equipment or not. Phew. Thank you for being the voice of soulful slap on my face. I've never been described as a soulful slap on the face. that's a that's a pretty interesting description. Um, yeah, trust me, we all need that slap. I need to slap myself all the time to do the things that I said I'm supposed to do and actually do them right. So I think we all need to be motivated at some point, right? We all need somebody to encourage us. The encouragement differs. Some people need someone to cook food and give them, and then just feel like, oh, this person cares about me. Other people just need you to say, hey, I saw your post on Facebook. I think you're doing pretty well. That's good. And then you suddenly feel this renewed sense of, man, somebody's watching what I'm doing. Somebody's doing it. Like when I read these comments, right? This encourages me. When I read your comments, Stella, when I see these conversations happening because of something that I shared, that encourages me. When I see someone on TikTok staying and watching, that encourages me, right? When I see the comments, Sandy, I see your comment, by the way. And so it's important for us to remember that on this journey of life, we are all here to help each other out. There's no one person who has the monopoly of how it's done. No one human being walking this earth. The only person will be Jesus. So, yeah, I mean, technically, he's still walking the earth. Bottom line is, no single human being who is still alive now knows exactly what to do or what works for you. That's why it's important for you to really spend time with God, to grow, to learn, to understand your purpose. And you have your whole life to do that. And it doesn't matter where you've been, what has happened, whether things didn't work out, who said what, all of that stuff. If you choose to take a different path today, all of that, not that it doesn't matter. Okay, let me phrase, it's not like it doesn't matter. It's more like all that was preparing you to come to this place where you will be able to grow, to rise from all that, right? You'll be able to grow using all this thing that you've learned. I firmly believe that there's no such thing as failure if you're able to learn from everything that happened. Heartbreaks, bankruptcy, death, pain, accidents, disease. If you're able to pick up the lessons from everything that happens, then you only get better with time. You only keep growing. And that's really much it. So this live stream isn't going to be too long. I didn't want to do it. I did it anyway. So I've accomplished my goal. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, I'm going to end the stream in like a few minutes. But yeah, this has been great for me. I think I'm very pleased with myself. And also, if you notice, I increased the light. I noticed that the last live streams, it wasn't as bright, which I was like, what was I thinking? So I have this light there that I can, let me try to reduce that to see. So this is what it used to look like before. And on my screen, it looks really great. Like I like it. But when I was watching the recording, I was like, this is terrible. I don't like this at all. So I just increased my lightness back. So come on, we can do this. So there it is. So yeah. Any questions, any comments, any feedback, any topic that you would like me to discuss? We'll be doing the streams twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, evenings. So 5 p.m. Central Time. And depending on when I start getting guests back to the podcast, that might change. It might be recordings, it might be live streams. I don't know. I'm not going to announce anything that I'll not be able to keep. But just so you know, that's what's up. So Stella, thank you for your comments and your questions. Larry, thank you as well. Fulbert, Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. Sandy, I don't know if you're still there, but yeah. So let's see. Just not. Yeah, that's it. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Stella. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. So let me see actually the stats on this. So right now on Twitter, two people are watching, two people are watching on YouTube, two on Facebook. Nobody's watching on the Come Guy Reads Books. I feel like I should just close that page. It's not helping me. It's just a waste of space on digital landscape of Facebook pages. So but we'll see. Stella says, "Oh, yes, living in our true identity shows us our true power and uniqueness and brings us to the beauty of having others support us too. 100%. I think we find ourselves usually lost because we're trying to be people that we're not. We're trying to be like other people, we're trying to copy other people, or we're carrying scripts that were implanted or downloaded in us as children, either from our parents, our society, our culture, or even ourselves. Sometimes teachers will tell you something, when you're very young, and then you just ingrain that, you just carry that with you, but that's not who you are. And when you're able to uncover and remove all those things, which happens through therapy, life, other processes, you're able to get to a place where you can be yourself. You can be a full member of society and be fully present, both in your relationships or just wherever you are. You're present in conversation, you're present in your job, you're present in your household, you're just present. So, yes, living in our true identity shows us our true power and uniqueness and brings us to the beauty of having others support us too. I like that. I like that. I think it's so wonderful when we get to find out who we are, who God made us to be, and to be able to walk in that glory and to be able to have Him shine through us. Because when we allow ourselves to be used by Him, that's when we truly become who we are, which is vessels for Him to shine. And just imagine how cool that is, how awesome that is to be a vessel to which the Holy Spirit can shine. I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah. All right. Now I feel like I'm just rambling. So I'm going to just go and peace out. All right. Thanks for hanging out, Stella. This is really nice. Please feel free to let me know if you're watching this a recording, if you're still watching live, please, if you have a topic you would like me to talk about, if you have a question, go ahead, share with me, ask your question, send me a message, whichever format you can. If you type my name, you'll probably find it a way to send you a message. Yeah, I will see y'all. Who says y'all? I will see you all in the next stream, and it has been fun. Thank you.